In this module, let's see about the superior and the inferior mesenteric artery. First, let's draw the superior mesenteric artery. In the convex side of the superior mesenteric artery, there are numerous ileal and jejunal branches. There are numerous jejunal and ileal branches. On the convex side of the superior mesenteric artery, jejunal and ileal branches on the convex side of the superior mesenteric artery, and then there is one branch, that is inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery. Inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery. This inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery is divided into anterior and the posterior part. This is anterior and this is posterior part. Next, on the concave side of the superior mesenteric artery, there is middle colic artery. Middle colic artery. Similar to that, there is another middle colic artery on the convex side. Let's name it as this as right middle colic. The left middle colic. Left middle colic. So first let's extend this. Right middle colic and left middle colic. So on the concave side of the superior mesenteric artery, there are two more branches. Right colic artery and iliocolic artery. This is right colic, iliocolic. Don't confuse between this. First, it's right middle colic artery, middle colic, and next one is colic artery, and the next to it iliocolic artery. These arteries divides into two parts. This both right colic and iliocolic artery ascends and descending part. There is two part, ascending and descending part of the right colic artery. The ascending part of the right colic artery anastomose with the right middle colic artery. Similar to that, iliocolic artery also has ascending part and the descending part. The ascending part of the iliocolic artery anastomose with right colic artery, and the descending part of the iliocolic artery in turn anastomose with the superior mesenteric artery itself. The descending part of the iliocolic artery in turn anastomose with the superior mesenteric artery itself. Now the iliocolic artery have four branches: one anterior cecal artery, posterior cecal, and appendicular artery, and then iliac artery. There are four branches in the iliocolic artery. Four branches of the iliocolic artery. Let's write about anterior cecal, posterior cecal, this is appendicular artery, this is iliac artery. That's all about the superior mesenteric artery. Let's recall it once again. The superior mesenteric artery, first there is inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, which in turn divides into anterior and the posterior part. On the convex side of the this is the convex side, this is concave side. On the convex side of the superior mesenteric artery, there is numerous jejunal and the ileal branches, and then on the concave side there are three branches. First, middle colic artery. Middle colic artery has two branches, one on the right side, one on the concave side, and one on the left side, convex side. This is right middle colic and this is left middle colic. Next to that, there is right colic artery and then ileocolic artery. This right colic artery and the ileocolic artery divides into two parts. One is ascending part and the descending part. The ascending part is anastomosed with the right middle colic artery, and the descending part of the right colic artery anastomosed with the ascending part of the ileocolic artery. The descending part of the ileocolic artery, which in turn anastomosed with the superior mesenteric artery itself. The ileocolic artery has four parts: anterior cecal, posterior cecal, appendicular artery, and iliac artery. Now, let us see about the inferior mesenteric artery. Inferior mesenteric artery. I will draw the inferior mesenteric artery first. This is inferior mesenteric artery. Similar to the similar to the superior mesenteric artery, in the inferior mesenteric artery also has the left colic artery, that is left colic artery, similar to the right colic artery, which in turn anastomosed with the left middle colic artery from the superior mesenteric artery. Look, don't confuse. This left middle colic artery arises from the superior mesenteric artery, whereas this left colic artery arises from the inferior mesenteric artery. This is the inferior mesenteric artery. Wait, let me write up. It's inferior mesenteric. Inferior mesenteric artery has left colic artery. The branches of the inferior mesenteric artery is the left colic artery, and it also has 2 to 3 sigmoid branches. It also has 2 to 3 sigmoid branches. 2 to 3 sigmoid branches. Similar to the right colic artery, left colic artery also has the ascending part and the descending part. The ascending part anastomosed with the left middle colic artery, whereas the descending part anastomoses with the sigmoid artery. Ascending part of the sigmoid artery. This also is sigmoid artery. This is also a sigmoid artery. The sigmoid artery also has the ascending and the descending part. Next, inferior mesenteric artery also gives rise to superior rectal artery. A superior rectal artery. So also has ascending and the descending part. Superior rectal artery. Okay. Here there is one important point here. I need to mention it. Splenic fissure. Splenic fissure is the area where the superior mesenteric artery and the inferior mesenteric artery anastomose with. This is the place where both the superior mesenteric artery and the inferior mesenteric artery anastomose with each other. So let's recall it once again. Superior and inferior mesenteric artery. This is the superior mesenteric artery. In the convex side of the superior mesenteric artery, there is numerous jejunal and ileal branch of the superior mesenteric artery. Then on the concave side, there is inferior pancreaticoduodenal artery. It is divided into anterior and the posterior part. Then on the concave side, the right middle colic artery, which also extends to the convex side, that is left middle colic artery. Next, there are two arteries, right colic arteries and the ileocolic artery. The right colic artery and the ileocolic artery is divided into ascending and descending part. The ascending part of the right colic artery anastomoses with the right middle colic artery, and the descending part of the right colic artery anastomoses with the ascending part of the ileocolic artery. As the ileocolic artery is descending part, which in turn anastomoses with the superior mesenteric artery. Ileocolic artery has four branches: anterior cecal, posterior cecal, appendicular artery, and iliac artery. And let's see about the inferior mesenteric artery. Inferior mesenteric artery has has four branches: left colic artery and 2 to 3 sigmoid branches, and then superior rectal artery. The left colic artery anastomoses with the left middle colic artery from the superior mesenteric artery. The place in which the superior mesenteric artery and the inferior mesenteric artery anastomose with each other is called what? Splenic fissure. Splenic fissure. Next, these sigmoid arteries anastomose with each other. Okay. This is the superior and the inferior mesenteric artery. Please, I am new to YouTube. If you have any comments or I need to improve my teaching method, please let me know in the comments and keep supporting me.